What is good, Raider Nation? Happy Monday. Happy Black Monday, I should say. Y'all already know. We're going to go ahead and get into it. This is Raiders Unfiltered. We're going to go ahead and do the damn thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Here we go.
J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Yes, Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Stand up, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style. It's amazing, making hits like Max on the blitz. The silver and black, on the attack. They on the map, if you a fan and you with that. J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest guest. Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, J Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like J Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders Unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post-game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders. Just Raiders, baby. J Raider, the creator with the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question.
Just win, baby.
Win, baby.
Just win. What is good, Raider Nation? Welcome to another episode of Raiders Unfiltered. I'm actually back. This show's been a little bit of a hiatus because of the holidays, but hey, putting now another Raiders Unfiltered. You already know what time it is. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys head on over, hit that like and subscribe button on your boy on all the channels. We're gonna go ahead and get into this. This is big news. We talked about this yesterday. I couldn't do this show alone. We said we're going to go ahead and run it back. We're going to go ahead and do exactly that in just a second. Before I do already, make sure I'm going to go ahead first, acknowledge my chat. Appreciate you guys rocking with us on this Raiders Unfiltered Black Monday special. Salute to Robert Ping in the building. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Israel in the building. No, we were not waiting on Leo this time. We're waiting on somebody else, but it's all good. We're ready to go. We're going to get into it. Shout out to Demokes in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Accelerator. Appreciate you pulling up. There you go. Daniel Berry in the building. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you rocking this Monday night. And then Ja Raider can do a show with my guy Ja. Appreciate you tapping in, my guy. Salute. All right. Let me bring the fellas out. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna bring out Primos. You already know we ran it back. Yeah, we did it yesterday. We had to run it back again from the post game. Salute, my guy. Appreciate
what is going on, nation?
Great day.
Get out of here. We got actually now focus on the offseason and now debate on who's going to come here, what's going to be the quarterback. Because, guys like Mendoza, but we said it. Depends on who we bring up. If Pete stays, we're not going quarterback. But he's gone.
Yeah.
So, Raider Will, before you get in here, bro.
Hey, this dude's warming up in the backstage, in the background.
Sorry, we're unfiltered, bro. Mendoza MVP incoming. Talk,
like a wild animal, bro. Here we go. Let me bring out Raider Will. Don't break the mic this time, dog.
What up, baby? What is cracking? I'm gonna tell you right now. Big Don John is in the building, baby. 8 a.m. sharp. What did we say? What did he do? He comes in there, puts straight on freaking Pete Carroll and tells him, get the fuck out of the building. What did we say? Exactly what needed to be done. Raiders handling business day one. Hey, we ain't waiting on nobody. They already saying we're interviewing people and handling business. Not only that, management coming out, bro, and saying, hey, Johnny Spytek is in charge here. He is the big Don John. What did we say? Raider Nation woke up, and I woke up fucking rock hard because of that shit, bro. Literally electrified, bro. Literally. Hey.
It's already unfiltered.
It's already unfiltered. It's already unfiltered.
I
love Raider Will. I love you, bro.
Well, we'll come in with that big energy this evening, bro.
I feel like Johnny Spytek walking into the office this morning, baby. Hey, Gator needs his money, bitch. Gator needs his spending money. Now I need to get me some Gator shoes and my Gator outfit, baby. Let's go.
Big.
Oh man, that's funny, man. Yeah, hey, bro, for real, dog. Get big dick energy today, bro. Oh man, shout out to Troy in the building. What is good? Shout out to my sis in the building. Appreciate your sis pulling up and rocking with us. Hey, man, I was giving my sis a hard time. I was, fucking Niners, man. Goddamn. I have one job to do. I love you. It's all good. Talking shit. Bueno in the building. What is good, my guys? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. All right. Let's get into it. The fucking news that we've been waiting for the last almost 24 hours. Let me go ahead and pull up breaking news. You already know Pete has been officially fired from the Las Vegas Raiders. The news coming out this morning, like Will was saying. I even checked that. I checked that at 8 my time. I forgot that I'm an hour ahead. Happened went down like a 9:15 around there. Released. I think first came out. It looks like Yahoo Sports broke the news first. Then everybody followed suit. Raiders officially parted ways with Pete Carroll, ending his short tenure in Las Vegas. Another one and done coach goes down in the history books for Raider history and Raider Nation. We saw this coming. We saw this coming. We said it last night. We predicted it. He's like 8 a.m. and it happened 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Sharp. Let's just put it like that. 8 a.m. sharp. Yeah. BTA.
They let him know. They let him know his services are no longer required, and they showed his ass out the door. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up, and again, this is what I say. 9:15 my time. It's 8:15 a.m. West Coast time. They put this out by the Raiders, saying the Las Vegas Raiders have relieved Pete Carroll of his duties as head coach. We appreciate and wish him and his family all the best moving forward. General Manager John Spytek will lead all football operations in close collaboration with Tom Brady, including the search for the club's next head coach. Together, they will guide the football decisions with a shared focus on leadership, culture, alignment with the organization's long-term vision. Again, the vision has to be aligned. I don't know that we're tapping in yesterday. Probably something got through, and they fucking peeked in. And I keep saying the vision has been aligned. The vision needs to be aligned. And then fucking next thing you know, boom.
Yeah.
Aligned. Long-term vision needs to be aligned. They can't have said any better. This is exactly what we've been preaching. Vision
Bro,
needs
they
to get
watched the pod last night and was having nightmares
For real.
all night long. They
Yeah,
were like,
for
bro,
real.
Pete Carroll, we got to get rid of that bad business. We got to get rid of all the way that we're conducting business because the way that we conduct business is trash. And I get it. People are going to say, hey, there's no plan for the future. Are you kidding me, man? This is the first time for this year that we will have a plan. That we actually have one person in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
All year long, we haven't had one person in charge. And now we
could go
finally
back
get
to the
him
Josh
in.
McDaniels days. Like we could go back that far. Even Gruden, you could go back. When has the general manager really truly been, in charge of everything?
Yeah.
And he came out and said it. The buck stops here. Bro,
Yes.
what have we've been waiting all season long for? The buck stops here.
Yeah,
I'm responsible. This is the product that I put out on the field. Bro, he said it. Hey, I came out. There were some mistakes made, et cetera, et cetera. He owned up and he acted like a straight out man. I told you, bro, he came out like a damn Don, some gangster shit. He said, hey, they asked him about, what about the relationship with the other players? I already spoke to them one-on-one. This isn't some media shit. Bro, we handled this shit in-house.
Yeah.
That's
you see how they're trying to fish for the Brady involvement that they're trying to pull. And Spytek was like, I know what you're trying to do. He kind of gave that answer, like, I know you're trying to fish for something. Like, bro, I talked to him.
There you go.
That's why they both made the thumbnail. They were conspiring. They were conspiring, but let's talk about this statement, right? And you were talking about, you just said it right now. Well, we know now who's going to be running the show. We know where the buck is going to stop, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about this last night, saying that this is going to be John Spytek's really prove it year, right? He's going to have almost full autonomy of this team and building it, right? From seeking out the head coach to going through a free agency and getting the key players that we need. The draft, that's going to be a big thing right there, right? And this is all going towards the future, the long term, the alignment with the organization's long term vision, right, and goals. This is exactly what Spytek is to do now. If this doesn't work, mind you, again, we've talked about. We were on earlier with Jeff and Leo. Shout out to them. And Jeff said, hey, if we have a shitty year this year, which it'll most likely will happen, Raider Nation has to be patient. We can't be at the gate calling for the head. We have to be patient. We're gonna have to go ahead and sit through this. So whoever's gonna be the next guy, this is it. This is the guy that we're gonna be rolling. But to me, like, John Spytek really is going to be measured by this year on everything that he does, because ultimately the buck will stop with him, right? So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited that Pete is no longer here. I love Pete. He was a great head coach. It just didn't work out here. The game has more or less has passed them by, right? Unfortunately. I was talking to my coworker earlier after the live. He asked me, like, hey, you know what? Like, I know this might not be popular, but with my fan base, he's a Cowboys fan, but I hope that we get Pete as a DC. I'm like, I don't even think Pete will want to go over there as a DC, bro. I think he's done too much. Plus, it's just, his decision making is very questionable. There's a lot of guys that you guys can go after for like a DC, and I named Robbie Leonard because I don't think I think everybody's going to go at this point. And let's kind of talk about that in just a bit. But real quick, let's move on. I want to ask this question real quick, though. What's the writing on the wall?
I'll be like, are we blind? I'll be like, are we blind? We got the first pick in the draft. We won 4 games last year. We were supposed to improve. The only thing we improved was losing.
From the number 1 pick, do you think the writing was on the wall months ago, weeks ago, days ago?
What did I say, Jen? We only improved at losing. That's the only thing we improved at, was losing. So, yeah, man, I mean, like, at the end of the day, you can't hang your hat on one thing. We talked about it. Tell me one positive thing that has come out of this season besides getting the number 1 draft pick. I'll wait.
Your rookie's finally playing towards the end of the season. I mean,
Bro, again, and your rookies came in and did a better job than your starters and been holding their own. And I mean, like, again, this is where I go. Bro, there hasn't been one thing that we can say that he has been good at, except for losing and not having the team prepared. I'd be like, hey, we're really good at that. You want to put some BTA? Sign up the Raiders. We're still at practice in week 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
We still at practice. We talk about practice in week 10. So, yeah,
Practice
right.
ball.
It was on the wall.
Yeah. The writing was definitely on the wall. I think that Indy game, that's when he first made the practice statement. And that for me was like, okay, Pete, like I gave you chance after chance, but this, bro, this is just what are you answering? Like, are you hearing the question correctly? And again, to Will's point, the team shows up unprepared. Like we talked about it during the season. I don't know what loss it was, but it's like every week they find new ways to lose games. Like they made losing an art. Like it's like, oh, you think Geno losing because Geno has 3 picks or a blocked field goal? Oh no, wait, we're gonna get blown out by the Washington Commanders and blown out by the Indianapolis Colts. But wait, like no, it's gonna get even worse. We're gonna have Brock Bowers have a 3-touchdown game against the Jags and still lose that game. Like it was becoming an art to the point you're like, there's no way this is a real NFL team, like NFL team, a professional team. Like it got to that point. Like, okay, so and it came to the coaches because fans seen it. The offensive line was bad. Very bad. We're gonna put Stone Forsythe in at left tackle to make it better. We're gonna put the worst rated tackle in that's on an O-line that's already bad. We're trying to make it better, Pete. We're not trying to make it worse. Oh my God. And that's where I get to. That's where I get to is because decisions like that. You put in Stone Forsythe when you have a 3rd-round rookie in Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers, because Caleb could go play tackle too. You have them sitting on the bench, but you put Forsythe out there, and Will pointed it out last night. Didn't even start. Leads the team in sacks given up.
The league, bro, not the team. The league.
Oh my God, that's even worse. Didn't even start, and he led the league in sacks given up. And again, you have rookies on the bench, and I know people's like, well, nothing's gonna change with rookies. Yes, but if you're losing anyway, give the rookies some burn. And look, they came in late, and that's another thing. He finally put him in, but I'm sorry, a little too late. You put him in towards the end of the season with like 5 games left in the season. And look, they played pretty well. They held their own. And to me, that showed me like, Pete, you probably knew. And then he wanted to say they're not ready. And then Caleb Rogers the following week. Man, what you mean I ain't ready? I'm holding my own over here. Like, it just was proving to me he did not know. And again, we don't like saying this about like coaches because they're the guys getting paid the big bucks. It looked like he did not know what he was doing at all. It really looked like he did not know what he was doing.
Yeah, all year long, this team looked lost, bro. All year long. And I'd be like, again, I have nothing against Pete
No
Carroll.
Identity either.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nothing against him, bro. I'm going to eat crow right now. I thought that he was going to come in and do a good job because of the resume.
I think we all did.
First one to say that. But at the same time, I'm like the dysfunction and just the total implosion of this team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That right there just tells you, man. I mean, like, bro, we had 60 yards of offense. 60 yards of offense sometimes. 90 yards of tell me that is a competent team, that they're going out there and practicing hard for their coach and wanting to play for him.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think having those blowout games, just having the terrible performances where it basically was a blowout, where it wasn't even close at times. I think that's kind of what did it. Like I think probably the Eagles loss, but probably was the final the final nail in the coffin. No pun intended, but you can attribute to different things that happen throughout the season, and I think the big key indicator between the dysfunction between coaching and the front office was the rookies. The rookies, when it came out like, hey, front office wants to go ahead and play the rookies, but coaching is saying no. It's like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Because they know at some point, and I think it happened once we officially were eliminated from playoff contention, which we all knew that it wasn't going to happen either way. We were having those debates, and then that story started coming out. So, I think like it was the writing had been on the wall for sure. Real quick though, I do want to go ahead and again appreciate everyone who's been rocking with us on this post game show. I'm sorry, post game Raiders Unfiltered. I'm still on post game, dog. Appreciate you guys. It's Monday, Black Monday. Yes, sir.
Monday.
Appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with us. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. For everybody in the chat right now, I put up some polls and I asked everybody how do they feel about Pete being fired. So I have two streams going on too. I have the vertical and the regular. On the regular, 92% say 92% like that Pete got fired. 8% don't. 12 votes casted in. On the vertical has 79%. Like that Pete Carroll has been fired. 21% do not like the move. That is crazy. 21% do not like that move. I definitely we would love to hear from that 21%. From that,
they love taking BTA, bro. They love taking that BTA. They're like, oh man, hey, I like going to the game and being all game long. I mean, like. That's
there you go. There's your first comment. HG says every coach should at least get 2 years minimum.
And I agree. I agree with everyone that says this. But this is why you guys, I blame Mark Davis when it comes to how shitty the Raiders have been. Is because it's his money. I know I seen someone in the chat earlier said that's $33 million gone. That's not the Raiders' money. That's Mark Davis's money. He's the one spending money on the coaches. You don't hire a 74-year-old coach. And we just thought, because we all thought he was going to come in here. Maybe when we seen the 3-year deal, we're
that don't hurt us, bro. That's all Mark. Mark could spend $100 million if you want. I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
it doesn't affect our bottom dollar as a team, right? Yeah, it doesn't affect our bottom dollar as a team. We can go out and get guys. It's him where he has to pay his coaches. Doesn't look good. But money, KZK, I don't know whose channel he's on, but he's saying, mark my words, next season's likely going to be worse than this one. The roster hasn't been fixed. The front office is in flux. The pattern finding coaches midstream isn't changing. I don't agree with this. I don't think it's going to be worse than this one because you're talking about either a 1-16. 2-15 season type of thing, or 0-17 type of season. I don't think it's going to go that route. I think we're going to be slightly better. We're not going to be leaps and bounds better, but we are going to be heading towards that right direction. I think it starts now with that being put out that you're going to have basically one guy. You're going to have two guys, but essentially the GM is going to be directing and running the football operations of the team. And that's how it should be, because guess what? Every other NFL team does it that way. Again, the whole thing about trying to reinvent the fucking wheel and try to go ahead and expect goals for it to come out, it's fucking asinine. Like, why are you trying to go ahead and change something that is proven around the league? Just do it that fucking way. So we're finally starting to see that happen. And we'll go through the list of all the potentials in a bit and whatnot. But I think this is the step in the right direction. And you have, unfortunately, would I want to see Pete go? No. But seeing the way that this club performed throughout the season, seeing all the strange decision making that was taking place, on and off the field was just too much. And this is the result of it. 3-14 season. This is what we got. Yes, we got the number one pick. Great, but at the end of the day, it's like we could have won a different round. We could have probably got us almost to the same place, going a different round and having more wins. Right? We were trying to build something, and that wasn't the case. The vision was not aligned. And again, I go back to that because for all intents and purposes, and especially with the interviews that kind of AP did, and I don't like to bring up AP. He's in the past and whatever, but he did like certain quarterbacks coming out in certain draft. And I thought this organization was going to go after a quarterback, and they did not. They went after one in the 6th round. And on top of that, they just let that 6th round pick get snatched up from the practice squad. So even that is a whole wash. Now, I don't know if that's completely intentional. Did the front office really want that to happen, or was everybody in agreement? Right? I don't know. We don't know. But our 6th round pick is gone. He's in Miami now. So our quarterback, our developmental quarterback, not here, right? And it goes back to tell you what the decision making process in that. We went out and traded our 5th round pick for Kenny Pickett instead of running with Cam Miller, right? And we could have ran with the rookie if we needed to. I mean, that's plain and simple. He's there just for an emergency basis, right? But eventually you got to give that guy a burn if Geno goes down. Geno did go down, but he didn't go down towards the end of the season. Then you had AOC back, and then you had the whole question on how that was going to go ahead and pan out. And so Cam Miller got stuck in purgatory. You can't run with 4 quarterbacks. You could, but why would you? It's not a great move. So it's just stuff like that. Just kind of add to the pile. Let's go ahead and move on to the spy tech, right? We're talking about spy tech. Now he's going to be held accountable. He's going to be the guy who you're going to look towards for the decision making. He talked today. He had a presser, surprisingly, right? I was like, oh shit, spy tech is going to talk. I'm going to go ahead and put part of that presser, basically the statement he made out. We'll talk about everything that happened a little bit afterwards. I don't have the footage for that, but we are gonna talk about that. So let me go ahead and pull up the presser from today from Spy Tech. He addressed the media earlier in regards to the dismissal of Pete Carroll. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
On short notice, this morning, ownership and myself met with Coach Carroll. After a lot of discussions, we made a decision to go in a different direction. We informed Coach Carroll of that this morning. I want to thank Coach Carroll from the ownership perspective and from my personal perspective as well. He was a great partner. In my first year in this job, he worked tirelessly to give Raider Nation, the team, and the outcomes and the results that they wanted and deserve. He was a wonderful person to deal with for me personally on a day-to-day basis. And I'm just very grateful to have had the opportunity to work with him, a great coach like him for a year. And this organization, the ownership, myself, wish him nothing but the best in the future. We're truly grateful for his efforts. I also want to make it extremely clear, too, that I bear a ton of responsibility for the outcome of the season and our record. This isn't on any one person, and really, I don't want anyone to think that anyone deserves more responsibility than me in that. It's something I'm very aware of. I think about all the time, and am determined to get right. And the accountability should start and stop with me, and that needs to be said. I want to thank all of our coaches, all of the players, all of the support staff. That despite our record, they worked tirelessly. They poured their hearts into it. They never wavered. And it was great to see that culminate with a win yesterday. They battled to really the final play of the season. And I think that was a true revelation of their character. And they all should have a lot to be proud of. We have a massive opportunity in front of us this offseason to set this organization, this franchise on a course for success and provide the results that Raider Nation and the Las Vegas community deserves and expects. We intend to tack it full on. The work has already begun. I think we're all aware of all the resources that Mark and ownership group have given to us. Obviously, there's the draft. We have capital. We have one of the greatest buildings, if not the greatest building in the NFL. There's a lot to be excited about here, and it is going to be my responsibility to lead this up and set this organization on a course of sustained success. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you all.
All right. That was Spytech in the presser that he had earlier today. All right, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on the things that we said? I'm not gonna lie, taking back about him, taking a little bit of that heat off Pete, and I think I don't know if that all fault. I don't think it's a fully shared responsibility taking the heat. I think it's more on Pete and not so much on Spytech. You still give Spytech some heat. But what are you guys' thoughts on the presser and some of the stuff we said? We'll talk about some of the questions that were asked afterwards that are very interesting.
I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid, baby. All the Kool-Aid.
Don't choke on the Kool-Aid.
And it tastes so damn good. Hey, you know what, man? It's like you said, this guy came out. He didn't have to come out and say, yo, this was me and him. He literally took part of the blame. He took the high road on a lot of questions. And at the end of the day, man, Spytech has shown that he's a well-built GM, a guy that can handle tough questions, a guy that can go out there. Again, we've talked about it. Hey, they asked him about guys under contract and coaches under contract. Did he go out there and throw people under the bus? No. He went out there and strictly said strictly business. Hey, man, I'm telling you, bro, we got Big Don John in the building. Y'all better buckle up, Raider Nation, because this dude is for real. And now we're going to be under his command. He said, hey, man, the buck stops here. You think he's going to let people try to tell him how to run things in the building, how to do things? No, it's literally going to be a chain of command, a way of the way that a team is supposed to be built. So at the end of the day, man, I love what he said. I hope that he sticks by it. And, man, like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. The first time he spoke out all year, bro. All year, this man hasn't had one thing to say since the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And the one thing he does is come out there and handle business. Can't hate on that.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts, Prevost, on Spytech presser?
I forgot I muted myself. No, same as Will. He didn't have. I think it kind of took me back when he took accountability, and you take the blame for everything. I see what Kay is saying, but let's not lie. Did he have a good offseason? I mean, I've talked about it. Outside of his draft, I like his draft, but outside of the draft, he brought in Alice Kappa, traded for Geno Smith, even though you could put that more on a Pete move, but he also spent a 5th round pick on Kenny Pickett. Drafting Cam Miller, drafting Tommy Millott, trying to convert him to – well, there's a lot of things that he did that you could put some blame on him for why the season went the way it did. But at the end of the day, he is not the head coach. He doesn't make personnel decisions when it comes to who's playing on the field and who's the coaching staff. So, yeah, I would put more blame on Pete than I would on Spytech. But it was nice to see that he took some blame for it. Of course, being the GM, I think, again, this is where the leadership part does come in. He didn't have to take majority of the blame or kind of split it 50-50 amongst them both. He didn't have to do that, but it is what it is. And it sounds like he has a clear vision of what he wants in the future. I think, and I said this this upcoming year, you've seen in his introductory press conference, he's going to build this for the future. He's going to build for long-term success. I believe that 2025 was an evaluation year. He's going to see what he has. He's going to see what he doesn't have. And he's going to come into this offseason, and he's going to be way more aggressive, especially because we said it. He's going to feel this pressure from the nation. All eyes are on him now. They're not on Pete. They're not on this coaching staff. All eyes are on you to what moves are you going to make this roster better? And if he doesn't do it, then hey, you were given 2 years. Yeah, your first year we could give you some slack, but your second year, hey, you said it yourself. Like Will said, the bus stops with you and it ends with you. Like, so be true to your word, and come next season, if it doesn't go your way, man, you might be joining Pete Carroll and walking out that door the following next year if you ain't fix this roster.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go into about some of the questions that Spytek was asked. So I'm gonna go ahead and place some of those clips on some of the questions that John Spytek was asked. The first one, they asked about what are there like two more important hires in the organization than a quarterback and a head coach? So he was asked that question. So let me go ahead and pull up that clip real quick, and we'll go ahead and take a look.
The impact that the right head coach, the impact that the right head coach and a first overall draft pick can have on the future of this franchise.
I mean, the league is littered with, when you get the top pick right, those guys are franchise-altering players. There's probably no more important hire in an NFL organization than the head coach. They're the daily guy. They set the vision. They set the cadence. They are what touches the players every day and demand excellence from players. And the players are the ones that have to go out there and do it. And the more good players you have and the better person at the helm that you have steering that ship, my experience is the more successful you are. And, if you look at, are there two more important hires in an organization than a quarterback and a head coach? I think we probably all would agree that those two men usually steer the ship, and that's out in front of us right now.
All right. So what are you guys' thoughts about that statement when he was asked in regards to the head coach and the quarterback? I'll start with Will, because I know he was very, very opinionated yesterday in regards to like the head coaching and the number one pick.
Bro, it's lined up together. What did you just say? Hey, man. He's like, it's not rocket science. I'd be like, the leader of the offense is who? The quarterback. I'd be like, the head coach, of course. Like, it's important because he touches every single player. Having a great developmental coach, a guy that can understand players and develop them, who the fuck doesn't want that in their organization? I'd be like, everybody wants one of those guys. A guy that's elite. So at the end of the day, bro, whatever the head coach wants, right? If the head coach comes in and he says, hey, we're drafting Mendoza, then let's take Mendoza. If he says we're taking Moore, if Moore declares, then that's who we're riding with. We got to look at it and just say, hey, man, call a spade a spade. A great head coach, irreplaceable in an organization. A quarterback, irreplaceable in an organization. Have the Raiders had either of those for the past 20 years? Derek Carr was the best semblance of a franchise quarterback that we have had since Rich Gannon.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, we need both. And to say, hey, again, if Clint Kubiak comes in or whoever, Clint Kubiak is the guy that I'm looking at, right? If Clint Kubiak comes in and he says, hey, Mendoza's not my guy, then I'm trading back. I'm doing what I have to do to get the pieces that he wants. Now, if he goes, Mendoza's my guy, say we got the number one pick. Let's go. It is what it is. Yep. I mean, like at the end of the day, that's all I can see, man. I'm like, you have to back up your coach. If what Spytek is saying, that he's going to bring in the head coach, that he's going to bring in a guy that has the same vision, and guess what, bro? It should be a wrap from the get. He comes in, you sit down. He says, hey, what do you think about our team? Where are you evaluating? What do you think you're going to do with our team? And they'll come in and say what they think. And if you're on the same wavelength, then that's what you do.
Yeah, what about you, Will? What are your thoughts?
Simple, bro. No, hey, Raider Will, bro, you hit it on everything. And we talked about this. As much as I'm against trading back, it's up to the head coach. And same like Will, I like Clint Kubiak coming in. And if Kubiak goes to Spytek, like, hey, I know your scouts are probably high on Mendoza, but I don't think I'm high on him. And I don't think I could get the best out of him. So I think we need to move back and build this thing right and maybe see what we got in 2027. because I don't think I can. And if your coach is telling you that, like you said, Spytek has to listen and back up his head coach. Don't just draft Mendoza because you need to draft a quarterback, because then you're setting yourself. That's a wasted first overall pick, especially if your coach doesn't have the confidence that he's like, I will not be able to bring the best out of him. Then you got to trade back. But if Kubiak's like, there's something in this kid, and I think I can unlock some potential with him. Don't fuck around. Go get him. Like, don't mess around.
Right.
We could build this thing right, but we got to get this kid first. We can't pass on it. And it seems Spytek knows. He says it starts with the head coach. It starts with the quarterback to steer this shit, to steer it. And we've all talked. What is the main we could go back to the main? Yes, outside of the offensive line, what is the main reason why we had a 3-14? Because your head coach and your quarterback are steering this thing into the ground. Your quarterback's in the league in interceptions, and your head coach, it seems he doesn't have this team prepared. But he said it himself. We got to get the right head coach in the building, and we got to pair him up with a quarterback that can steer the ship with him. And again, I think he knows it's going to depend on what that head coach wants. If he wants Mendoza, get him. If he doesn't, he's probably going to trade back.
Yeah. But really quick, shout out to we got almost 70 people in the building. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like and subscribe on all these channels. My guy, Raider Will, to my right, Silver and Black Raider Podcast, Raider Primos to my left. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe. If you're on my channel, hit that subscribe. Just Raiders, baby. They already know what time it is. My thing is this. With that said, he is right. I think with the statement that was released, and if he is high on Mendoza, I think they're going to try to find a coach with that same vision, if that's what they want to do. Again, I think whoever's going to be in here, obviously, they're going to go ahead and get together with the scouts. They're going to go ahead and dissect all the film, dissect this character, talk to the friends, talk to the family. Trust me, there goes a lot into being ready to go ahead and pick basically the future of the organization that could change the face of the organization for the next 10 years, possibly. So there's a lot of due diligence that goes into drafting that. Now, I know years prior, we don't have a track record of that. And that was a different person that literally vetoed and made that pick, right? That, God rest his soul, he's not here no more. We have John Spytek. So I think now that we are in this time, handing over the reins to him, I think there's going to be a lot of research done on Mendoza, if he's the guy, or Dante Moore, and all the potential number one picks that or prospects for number one. There's only like a handful, but I think quarterback is probably the biggest need. So whatever that plays out, I think it's going to be a partnership with the head coach, but I think they're going to go after a head coach that has a similar vision as John. I think that's going to be the move right there. The biggest hurdle is going to be getting asses in seat. That's it for an interview. That's really going to be the biggest pitfall, I think, for them, is trying to get interviews. We haven't heard anything right now as of yet. Other teams, we already seen requests coming out from like Atlanta, from different teams, that they're already going out and requesting interviews with certain individuals out there, right? So we shall see. I think it comes probably later on this week.
We're going after Kubiak.
Right.
We're going all out on Kubiak, baby. Guns a blazing. I mean, like, Johnny, you better bring the fucking U.S. Marines, the Navy, the Army to the house. I'll be like, shitty, bang, the house down, baby. Whatever we got to do to get that man in the building.
Yeah. I want to address this really quick. Kai has been kind of sending this off, and he's been talking kind of this in the chat. He says, we may want Mendoza, but he may not want us. If he comes around, we take Mendoza in a heartbeat. But if he doesn't want to play here, we trade back, or does he stay at Indiana?
He's not staying in Indiana.
If he declares, he declares, bro. And if he has time, they have until I think the 5th. I think he already declared, right?
I don't know, but the thing is,
he
news
did already.
came out that the TCU quarterback just transferred to Indiana. Josh Hoover.
Yes.
It came out like a day
Is that
ago.
Mark Davis? Is that Mark Davis? You better get him on the line right now, Primo. Be like, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yes, words with him.
No, so yeah, so he didn't declare yet, but it's like the writing's kind of on the wall because I think that was TCU's quarterback 1, and he's transferring to Indiana. So I think the writing's on the wall that Mendoza's gonna declare.
Hey, hold on. Yo, what's up, man? Yeah? Oh, you want to play for us? You don't give a fuck? Yeah, you just want to get drafted? You need that money?
Get drafted, get
I got you, bro. I might let him know. Hey, man, Fernando Mendoza just gave me the call, and he said, guess what? Raider Nation, you're full of shit. Nobody knows anything. Ain't nobody calling me. I want to get drafted, and I need that money. Show me the money.
There you go. There you go. That's what's up. Yeah.
It can be something to monitor, but I think the writing is on the wall.
Yes, exactly. And this kid knows he's not dumb. But this kid he's going for his fucking graduate because he already graduated from Cal. So he's already graduated. He's
smart man.
Yeah, smart man, smart kid, and it shows in the field. So he knows that most likely we're the ones who are going to go ahead and draft them, and trust me, there'll be something vocal if he's not down with that, right? But I don't think that's the case. I don't think, when you get drafted a top quarterback, you don't go to the best teams. The worst teams draft you. Like teams draft you. The Tennessee drafted Cam Miller, and look at them. They were still bad. Washington was probably the ones that really kind of turned it around so quickly. But again, they were already like a couple pieces away. They really just needed their quarterback to kind of change the landscape, and they went out in free agency and got a couple pieces there. But, that was really the case with him. So, no, they don't go to nice teams. They don't go to like great culture teams. They go into dysfunctional teams, and that's the way the league is set up to make everybody play on an even keel, right? It's your decision how you want to run your team. We're gonna try to make it as fair as possible for all the teams to be on the same level as far as talent wise. So if you have a fucking incompetent front office and a terrible coaching staff, we don't have nothing to do. But the league makes it that way. So that's how it is. You can trade down. You can pick your guy.
The first pick should go to the Super Bowl champ. Obviously, that's the way it is. If you get the first round draft pick, it's because you won the Super Bowl. You're gonna go to the best team.
Yeah,
that's why you're the first pick in the draft. Come on, man.
And I don't think Mendoza will have it either way. I think Mendoza wants to earn and work hard, and he wants to do what Derek and Khalil wanted to do with this franchise when they got drafted. He wants to be the one to change it around.
Yeah.
Bro, he could have went to a Power 5 school. He went to fucking Indiana. He went to Cal. He didn't go to these super schools.
Hey, something tells me he likes being the underdog, Will. He likes being the underdog.
And that's cool. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't think this guy really cares. When you have a dream, man, and you've been busting your ass since high school, do you really give a fuck who's going to draft you? You're going to the NFL. You're going to be the first pick in the draft. You're going to get so much money, you're going to be retiring yourself and your family. Come on,
shout
man.
Shout out to John. I like this statement. He says, people believe everything that people say. Mendoza doesn't want to be here. They edit stuff just like they did with Sanders, made up a lie that he doesn't want to be a Brown. I think like Mendoza is the opposite of Shedeur Sanders as far as personality wise. Yes, he's confident, but he is a humble dude. You see it on the field. You see that leadership just like shine, bro. That's somebody you want in the building. That's somebody you want in this organization to lead your team, your offensive team, the team in general. As you say what you say with Derek Carr, right? I like Derek Carr. I knew, and I was bittersweet when he left because I knew he had to go, but I like the fucking guy. But one thing for sure, he was a fucking leader. He was a fucking leader. That dude that dude ran the team and he was there for his team, and he as we can say what his game plan, but the dude was a fucking leader, and you need that, and we haven't had that. We didn't have that. We didn't have that with Gino. We didn't have that with other guys.
Jay, that 2021 season, I think that gave it card like you seen it, because that team could have folded. Like, to even sniff I get it. I even say we got to the playoffs by luck, but the thing is we got there, and I think we could say what we want to say about Derek, but Derek's leadership and Mac's leadership being on that team, there's a reason why they made the playoffs that year. And it started with because man, so much shit happened. We all remember so much shit happened. This team could have folded. And Derek and Max, I believe, were the first guys in there to try to rally the troops. Like, hey, we still got games to play.
Yeah, exactly. And they did, bro. So I think the Mendoza pick, if we do decide to go ahead and go after him, I think he is going to go ahead and kind of reshape the way that this team operates. You know, we're going to have another. I feel like we're going to have another leader in that locker room aside from Max, and that's kind of what you want.
Thank you, Jesus.
Speaking of Max, hold on. Speaking of Max, you know the question we talked about this yesterday, bro. And inadvertently, it got fucking asked. Well, I don't know. It was purposely asked, but it was just coincidental that it got asked. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And Spytick again was asked about Max, if Max is really untradeable, right? So let me go ahead and play this clip. This is what he had to say in regards to that, and we're gonna talk about what the response that he did.
John, obviously once once the offseason commences, obviously a lot of teams around the league will inquire about Max Crosby in a trade. Do you view him as a untradeable, untouchable player moving forward once the offseason starts?
I have a lot of respect for Max and how much he loves to play the game. And I've had the opportunity in the last several weeks to spend a lot of time with Max. And I think it's been well documented that he didn't love the idea of not playing football. And I think you always want that from your best players. In fact, I think that's why they're your best players. So I love Max. He embodies what a Raider is. I've been pretty upfront with that from the day that I sat up here almost a year ago. And I continue to believe that. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to let good players leave our building. That's happened around here. You know, I was in charge last year when a couple of good players left the building. And, you know, it's one of the things I learned. You got to keep our good players here. And, you know, we were talking about it this morning, just look around the league. There's some former Raiders that are playing good football somewhere, and I got to do a better job.
John.
All right. So that's what Spytick had to say. Shout out to Nick Walters with the fire content. But hearing that, real quick, but before I even ask the question, I gotta address the super from with the $2 holla. I appreciate him. Did someone say Max? you already know he's here to stir that pot, bro. But one thing that he didn't say, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate, but I love Max with all my heart. He did not say no, he's not tradable. That's a big. He didn't come out and say no, he's not tradable. He kind of tiptoed around that fucking answer, and he long-winded an answer that.
No, I'd be like, bro, he answered the question without answering the question.
You know, he didn't want to say the quiet part out loud, I feel. And so I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but it makes me a little bit nervous that he didn't come out and say, well, you know, he's gonna be with us for, you know, all his career or whatever.
Jay, come on.
Go ahead, bro.
Jay, don't you start this. Bad now this whole
he's over here.
I know, bro.
Jay's over here.
It's about to burn the building down.
I swear to God, bro. I didn't ask that question. I'd be like, yo, bro, make sure you ask Max Crosby trade question. Let him know. I want to hear John.
You and Jeff probably did, bro. You and Jeff were sending them little. Make sure you ask this question.
I think he has more pull.
But you know what? He just got triggered. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I'll just put it like this, man. He answered the question without answering it, But I like the way he answered it because he answered it in general for all the talent, right? Because if you just say Max Crosby, that's one player. But what he said is we have to do a better job of re-signing our talent, and that starts with me. We talked about it last night, Jay, how we have a ton of players being stars on their team that were a Raider before.
Yeah.
Divine Diablo's been playing lights out. People have been talking about how he's one-of-a-kind linebacker this year. All of a sudden, this guy's a one-of-a-kind linebacker with the Atlanta Falcons, but with the Raiders, here we are saying how much he sucks. But we got freaking Devin White, we got Jamal Adams, we got these guys, and what are they doing? Diddly squat. They out there diddying everybody. They just diddying themselves in the locker room. So at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, I respect the fact that he came out and he addressed the situation, not by just addressing Max, but by addressing the talent on this team in general. Saying, hey, man, Josh Jacobs leaving, that can't happen.
Yeah.
Good players leaving this organization can't happen.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. Okay, because he goes in and what we just played, he says that, we had a lot of players. We had some players that left that are having success in other organizations. I need to be better than that. How much was that on him, and how much was that on Pete? Was that all Pete, or do you think it was all him making just a bad decision, letting Spillane, what's the other guy? Goddamn. You can put Morig and goddamn.
Merrick and Spillane.
No, I said Spillane. So Spillane, Merrick, and then Chase on.
Oh yeah.
Chase on Walk. Those three guys, they played fucking pretty solid the year prior, and he let them walk. So how much do you think that was him? How much do you think that was Spy Tech? Or do you think it was all Spy Tech or maybe all Pete? I'll ask you guys that.
Yeah, good question, Jay.
Are
you a reporter? You should be a reporter.
Let us know too. What are your thoughts on that part? Because it's true, bro. Like he said that, and so like, how much was that on him, and how much was that on Pete? Was it 50-50? Did Pete really kind of just be like, oh, well, you know what? I'm doing the defense. This is the guys that I want, and just give me the guys that I need.
You want the politically correct way, or do you want it like?
No, bro. You give me whatever the fuck.
I want to say.
I'm telling you this. Hey, that old granny looking motherfucker with some shrivelly ass balls was in there, fucking telling Spy Tech how he did things and that he had won a Super Bowl and flashing around that Super Bowl ring and telling him how he's changed franchises and done things here and there, bro. I guarantee you that's what's happening behind closed doors. And I guarantee you when freaking Spy Tech showed up at 8 a.m. this morning, he showed up so pumped up that he was the fucking Incredible Hulk throwing that old-ass geezer out the building.
I wish I had Jeff's picture from New Year's Eve on that. We showed it earlier. Jeff has that picture of the AI he created. This
I'm telling you, man.
I think it probably went down that way.
Because that's what
he didn't want to go.
Happening. He didn't want to go. He thought he was going to stay. He thought
he wanted
to.
I don't think he thought he was going to stay, but he wanted to stay. I think he wanted to stay.
They had to fire him. They had to fire him.
Yeah.
He didn't step away diligently and say, hey, I'll resign. I fucking suck. He said, yo, I'm a good coach. I did a good job. You guys have to fire me to get me.
You got to give me another year. We're going to get it right in year 2, you know?
So, at the end of the day, bro, those old wrinkly balls fucking obviously weren't working anymore because they're like, bro, fuck that shit. Get those old culeros out of there. I'll be like, at the end of the day, bro, they got his old stank ass out of there. They believe in Spy Tech. And obviously, Pete was wrong. Bro, and this is where I go like, bro, they didn't get rid of Spy Tech. They didn't say it was because, we didn't draft well. It's because the players, we didn't do a good job of that. right now, management is really looking at it's because we did a shitty ass job coaching these guys. And that's where I keep going, bro. Not one player got better. Not one. Our kicker went from fucking being decent to being shit. Fucking our freaking special teams, which the Raiders have said, oh, we hang our fucking head on special teams. That's the only third of the game that we can play. Suck ass. I mean, we almost lost to the Chiefs' 8th string. The Chiefs' 8th string. Dylan Labe returning a kick and fumbling on the 20.
Yeah, bro.
On, man.
I doubt Labe will be here next year. But hey, you were saying 8 a.m. Shout out to Jeff. He came in.
I'm telling you, bro. Where's my belt? Where the fuck is my belt? I'm
you're gonna break the mic again, bro.
Pete, get out of here, Pete. Oh, bro. Oh, that feels so fucking good. Jesus, stress relief right there, bro.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious, man. Shout out to Jeff, bro. He popped in real quick and uploaded that for me. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts, Primo, on that? On the whole what he said about Max. He didn't really outright say that he's not tradable. He says he went on to the whole like we need to keep great players in house and whatnot, and we let some guys walk. How much was that P? How much is that him? Or was it all him? Or was it all P? What are your thoughts on all that?
As much I would like for him to just isolate Max, and the media is always going to try to see what they can get out of the Raiders when it comes to the Max Crosby situation.
You want to hop on, bro?
Yeah, and we talked about it too. If you're going to trade him, if Spytek is considering on trading him, this is the offseason to do it. Because you're not going to get the same value in the future. So I think he played it safe because he's not showing his cards. He's like, I'm not saying we're not going to trade him, but he did emphasize that you keep good players in the building. You don't let good players walk. And I like that he said that because that was another thing that Spytek got killed for was letting Spillane walk, letting Morik walk, letting Chase on walk. And I think he realizes, like he sees how they're performing on other teams, and he's like, and he sees even past regimes were doing the same thing, i.e., Josh Jacobs, and he sees this, and he's like, yeah, you cannot build. We're talking about building a roster, making the roster get better. You don't have to draft Genty if you got Josh Jacobs in the building already.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You don't have to address the linebacker room if you already got Spillane in the building, and you don't got to possibly get another defensive end if you got Chase on in the building. You don't need to put Palabao at the starting safety position if you already got Merrick in the building. And again, not saying these guys were great players by any means, but damn, looking at how this season went, these players were worse than how they were playing. And again, but it also shows you, and I think it shows Spytek how much coaching matters. Because I said this, just because they're balling on another team doesn't mean they'll ball here. Coaching matters. Spillane Spillane went to an organization in the Patriots that got Vrabel, who is a defensive-minded head coach, has him balling out there in New England. Same with Chason, literally like resurrected his career. So would they have the same success staying here? Probably not, because we can't figure out the coaching situation. I think that's why Spytek will always allude to and go back to, we got to figure out the head coach. And that's going to be the most important decision we make. It starts with making the right head coach, because then everything else will fall into place. Hopefully, he says it himself, you keep good players. So we'll see how the offseason plays out. We'll see how the season plays out if he trades Max away. I think he will probably listen to calls, but I don't think we talked about 2 first-round picks for Max. I think Spytek is going to want to get a haul. I think he knows what he has in Max, and he's like, I'm not trading chips. I'm not getting chips in return. I'm going to get a really good compensation for Max if I do trade him away.
Yeah. Real quick, Ja posted this comment, and I'm trying to look for it. I don't see it. Reporter posted on Yahoo: Tom Brady flew in from Chicago, landed in Vegas. Brady's Spytek fired Pete, and Mark Davis was going to give him another year. I don't know how true was that. I think he was going to be there for that you know that for that. I think he was going to be there for that, just to obviously show support for the organization and whatnot. And this was most likely decided days ago, week ago, weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was probably weeks ago, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't think Mark would have gave him another year per se, because I think the performance was so evident that you can't say this guy gets another year. What Mark came out and say was, we're not going to fire a coach mid-season, especially on his first year. And they waited up until this point. And especially that guy like Pete Carroll, you want to go ahead and give him at least that respect, and let him go ahead and finish out the season. I think he probably tried to give him that opportunity to see if he could turn things around. And it was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. So this was probably a long time coming. I for sure days, if not weeks, that this was gonna go ahead and happen for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and go on to this part. They asked the players, so the players were in the building, and I don't know if everybody knows, but Pete actually got to talk to the players when he got the news, when he got clipped. They allowed him to go ahead and kind of say his final goodbyes to the team and whatnot, which was pretty gracious from the organization to go ahead and let him do that. So he got to say he got his send off, right? But they asked Genty on his opinion on the next head coach. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And this is kind of what he had to say in regards to possibly the next head coach of the Raiders.
Look for in a coach just in general that you kind of thrive off of and learn from?
I think just holding guys accountable, especially when they need it, knowing your players well enough to just, keep that standard up. And obviously, they're the head coach, so you got to be a leader for sure.
You went through.
What do you look for in a coach just in general that you?
So they asked him, what does he look for in a coach?
Spoke volumes.
In general.
Spoke volumes, bro.
Spoke
volumes.
I think he said it very, very and very eloquently and very respectfully on the shit that it's been going on. Right? I feel that's really what he was trying to say. He was just accountability is a big thing here. That definitely needs to go ahead and happen on the next guy. And I think that there wasn't a lot of accountability from this coaching staff, from Pete. Yes, he took the blame sometimes, but not consistently. And I think that's kind of what he alluded to. What are you guys' thoughts on Genty's response on the whole? Getting the next coach to be accountable.
People, you want to go first?
Yeah,
Go first.
Bro, Genty has been on this train, man, of calling this organization out, and I love it. I love it. When he first came out, there hasn't been a lot of winning here. Genty knows, and you're seeing this from a rookie. You're seeing this from a rookie. We already got one a leader possibly coming out of Genty. We got to find. He's like, we got to find a leader at the head coach position. And could you say it was low-key a Carroll call out? Maybe, but because we'll never know what happened behind doors. But he's right, though. He is absolutely right. You need to go make sure that next head coach is a leader of men and can lead an organization. We've seen it with Ben Johnson with Chicago. People can talk about how good of a coach he is and how great of a play caller, but I don't know if you guys be seeing their locker room cameras after their victories. You can tell Ben Johnson's a leader of men. That's where it starts. You got to have players bought in. Someone pointed out that's what Vrabel did in New England. He had players bought in, had the organization bought in from top to bottom. Jetsy knows that. You need to bring a coach that comes in here, and every single player in here, including the front office, needs to be bought in on this head coach's vision. And we'll keep saying it. Alignment. Things got to be aligned. We'll keep saying it. Things got to be aligned. Everybody has to be on the same page. And it's funny because we're seeing players, we're seeing coach, we're seeing even Spytech say that we got to make sure we're on the same page. We got to make sure, like, them saying that tells me nobody was on the same page this season. Everybody was kind of doing their own thing, or they weren't seeing eye to eye. And so we talked about Spytech, now on to Genty. Seeing from a player that even he knows, hey, we all got to be on the same page. I'm excited for Genty, not just for the career that he can have as a Raider, but again, you're seeing that leadership role coming out of him. And seeing that in his rookie year so far, I'm excited for what Genty has in the future. I like his response.
Yeah. I think it was a good response. Kind of said the quiet part out loud. And,
yeah.
It had to be said, bro.
Yeah.
It had to be said,
Yeah, he don't care, bro. He'll say it. He's like,
yeah,
he don't
for
care.
sure.
Unfiltered, bro. He's unfiltered.
There you go. Exactly. Unfiltered. Fucking love it, bro. Let me put this up. Somebody also had a reaction today. Gino's reaction.
Ooh.
And let me go ahead and post this up. So Gino had a little reaction today too. Gino Smith recently unfollowed the team on IG, as well as taking down any Raider related posts. Shout out to Raiders Daily. Shout out to those guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and give them a follow on IG. And this is Gino's IG. As you see, no one to be found. So
is it a Raiders picture right there in this profile?
That's it. That's it. That's the only thing they got, bro.
There's only
He's
one
like, fuck
picture
this
on
team.
there.
He's like, fuck this team. He's like,
no, there's only one picture on his whole profile.
But he had more, bro. He had more. He took them all down.
Bro, you know how much hate this man is getting? Bro, you know how much hate this man is getting? Literally, I mean, like, who cares? Like, it's Gino Smith. If it's his IG and he unfollows people, bro, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. It's like this. What did he say? He's under contract. Until we trade him or anything else,
or release him.
This is
the thing. This is the thing. I think he knows that the writing is on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think he knows that.
It's okay for the trash to take itself out. Bro, I don't need to take the trash out every day. I like it when it takes itself out. What you want me, bro? It's a benefit. He's clearing up the freaking plate for any team to come fill up his social media. No problem. He's our Randy Moss for this fucking decade. Fantastic. It is.
You're both wrong, Will.
Oh man, hey, that's where I'm at with Will. Like, oh, hey, thank you for like clearing everything up, bro. Like,
yeah, Mendoza's. Hey, man, Mendoza, please come in. The trash has taken itself out. What you want?
Yep, he cleared everything up. And like, there's no guessing if he's gonna stay or not. Nah, he's out of here. He is out of here.
What's good, United West? Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something from Gino that he wants to be traded, or he gets flat out cut, bro. A flat out outright cut. And again, I think it's a $18 million hit if he gets cut. I think it's $8 if it's designated June 1st, a post June 1st cut. So, it's not a whole lot of money. It's not in the kind of the grand scheme of things. So, I don't see Gino here. Especially the way that, well, obviously his performance was fucking horrible, right? And then two, just kind of the fucking bullshit antics that he had pulled during the game. I mean, you know, he's gonna get the heat, bro. That's it. You fucking suck. The shit's gonna be talked about you, bro. That you were paid a big ass fucking bag to come in and be our fucking quarterback, and you shit the fucking bed, bro. And you trust me, a lot of people are gonna go ahead and sound off. Why? Because you know your boy Pete, which is no longer here, he decided that bringing you in was a better bet. It was a more surefire thing as opposed to going out and getting a quarterback at a high round, right? Or going out and getting a different type of quarterback, which is not Geno Smith, and we end up giving a third round pick. Imagine if we wouldn't have gone Geno, we wouldn't have traded away that third round pick. Imagine how much draft capital we would have, because I think that was a Devontae pick, right? That was the Devontae pick.
The Devontae
yes,
pick.
That was a Devontae pick.
Bro, that's
had an extra third. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be like, but at the end of the day, it's like you said, Jay. La basura se está sacando, bro. I don't need no stank ass shit in my house. So if Gino fucking wants to pack his shit and fucking go home, Gino, pack your shit, go home.
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, we're gonna sit there and be like, and this is where Raider Nation drives me crazy. Bro, we don't want Gino, so why the fuck are we tripping that he cleared his social media of all Raiders things? I'm like, bro, thank you, Gino. I hope you fucking go somewhere else and suck too, because that's all you're gonna do for the rest. Bro, who's gonna want a 36-year-old washed-up quarterback that led the league in interceptions?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't see them lining up, homie. I don't see them lining up. Well, they're going to pay you the big bucks to go back to coaching Pee Wee football, baby. That's where you make the big bucks, Gino.
Yep. That's why they pay him the big bucks.
Oh, my God. Fuck. That aged really fucking terrible, bro. Jesus Christ. That aged terrible, bro. On hindsight. What were your thoughts, Brevo, on him, like, clearing his social media and all that? Do you think he knows his ass is on the way out?
I think he knows. I mean, Pete was the whole reason he's a Raider was Pete Carroll. Now Pete's gone. Bye, Gino. And the thing is, I talked about it. Where do you bring Gino back as the bridge? Because, like I said, if you do draft Mendoza, if that's the pick, you're benching him. So but it just didn't make sense for the money that his contract. It didn't make sense. Why keep him, pay him like $26 million for one more season just to cut him? Because essentially you're cutting him at the end of the next year. So I think the writing's on the wall. Spytek isn't going to play around. He's probably going to try to trade him. But to Will's point, who the hell is lining up to be like, yeah, we'll trade for him and we'll take on that contract? Like, nobody. So I think they're gonna wait till post-June, and once June comes, see you, Gino. Here's your walking paper.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But that's where I'm at. I think he knows. I think he knows. The writing is on the wall.
Yeah. Hey, brother. I appreciate you pulling up, man. But this is an unfiltered show. We are gonna be raw and unfiltered. This is the type of show that the Bundys are. We get rowdy, bro. So
we're Raider fans, man. Come on.
We're Raider fans, but this show is designed to be that raw. So the F-bombs, the S-bombs are gonna be flying. So sorry, brother. Maybe he shouldn't be watching the show. So just food for thought. But appreciate you tapping in on Wednesday and Saturdays. That is definitely a way more cooled down,
more
show
cleaned up.
Sure.
It's more
cleaned up, 100%. Yeah, but this show is definitely not that. Not today. Let me go ahead and move on to this.
Hold on, sorry. I see this comment.
That's the best one right there. The best comment on night.
Yeah, Raider Nation, bro.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
Oh man,
that's awesome. let me move on to this part. Y'all already know. So P is officially gone. He is no longer here. Obviously, now the question raised: who will be the next head coach? We talked about this, yes, on yesterday's show, but now it's an actual fact. Now we can actually say, like, who will be the next guy? And I want to go ahead and put up this list, the head coach potential list. And I'm gonna put something. This is a post that was tweeted by Jonas Schultz as expected / potential head coach candidates this off season. So let me go ahead and pull up the list. Or I'll go ahead and read it off to you guys. So starting first, they have the Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Mittner, Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula, Packers DC Jeff Hafley, Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph, which is now will be probably the second time around that he tries to go for a head coach gig. Seahawks offensive.
Stop the list right there. Just stop the list right there. That's who we need. We need Big Down John to bring Daddy Warbucks home.
More names to go on. Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady, Colts DC Lou Anarumo, Niners DC Robert Saleh, Jags head coach DC Anthony Campanelli, Jags offensive coordinator Grant Udisky, Vikings DC Brian Flores, Broncos quarterbacks coach Davis Webb, Chiefs OC Matt Nagley, Chiefs DC Steve Spags, Commanders offensive coordinator. We talked about this yesterday too. Cliff Kingsbury, Dallas's ex head coach Mike McCarthy, which I would definitely not mind if they bring him in for an interview. Ex Giants head coach Brian Dable, ex Raiders head coach AP Antonio Pierce is on this list as well. Bucks OC Josh Gizzard is on this list. Cowboys offensive coordinator Clayton Adams, Texans DC Matt Burke, Giants interim head coach Mike Klapka. And he says sources I've spoken to have given the impression Jesse Mintner is the hottest name out there. He is gaining steam. I'm hearing that name quite a bit. What do you guys think about this list? Who do you guys like? I already know who Will likes because he stopped me like 8 names in, or 4 names in, 5 names in.
I'm the same as Will. I will say I can see why Jesse Minter is the hottest name. He's almost, I want to say he's having as successful of a season as Robert Saleh has, because that defense has dealt with injuries. And he still has that defense balling out. Now they haven't dealt with as many injuries as the Niners have dealt with, but he's still doing wonders. He has the Chargers defense playing well. But I think the problem for the Raiders has been this offense, and Clint Kubiak is your best choice. I think you got to go. You have to bring in Kubiak, because I think we'll hit it on the button yesterday. He calls his own plays. He's not going to come in and be a first-time play caller, first-time play designer. He already has his own playbook in place. He's going to come in, I'll get my guys, and let's get this ship rolling. And it's going to be on him. It's going to be his play calling. But if they do bring in a defensive-minded head coach, let's say they try to go for Minter, or they try to bring in a Chris Shula, I wouldn't be upset with that either. Because then your defense is going to – that's another thing that has haunt the Raiders. Both sides of the football have haunt the Raiders, offense and defense. So I think here, yes, you got to make the smart choice and an educated choice. But I think if it comes to a defensive-minded or offensive-minded, I think we can't miss on either or, because we would know one side of the ball is going to be fixed, whether that's the offense or that's the defense.
Mm-hmm. Will, what are your thoughts? I know you said Kubiak, but what do you think about this list? Anybody else that you like from this list that's interesting to you?
I'm going to hit you guys with this. I know that it's not going to be a popular pick, but I wouldn't mind this. I mean, like, we better have some hella fucking excuses or like interviews. I don't want to hear that we didn't interview somebody. This list is a really good list of guys. I want to see about 7 guys. If we didn't interview 7 guys, then we didn't do our due diligence, Big Don John. There's freaking like 30 guys on this list. We should be calling off 30 of them, except for the freaking retreads. I don't want to see Antonio Pierce. I don't want to see Mike McCarthy. He's too old. I don't want to see Dingleberry. I don't want to see freaking Brian Dayball. That's just like names to me that are not interesting. But I will tell you this. There is a name. No, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's what I want to put it up. He said, "With so many people calling for him, his name is not on that list." I think that's Raider Nation calling for that.
Yeah, Raider Nation keeps
like
calling.
Small part that want Gruden back because we're in love with the past and we always like to retread things. So I think it's a small group of people.
I'm just gonna tell you with that guy right there, bro. What are we gonna get with Gruden 3.0 that we didn't get with 2.0 and 1.0? Bro, let's just stop dreaming about living in the past. And I will tell you a name like this, and it came up today. They said, "Hey, I know Brian Flores is not a big name that people like, but if you got Brian Flores and you bring in a strong offensive coordinator to handle the offensive side of the ball, that can be something dynamic." We talked about Robert Saleh, a strong defensive coach. But again, you have to address the offensive side.
Yep.
The biggest worry right now is that we draft Fernando Mendoza and we got a guy like Pete Carroll telling me that he's not a player developer, that he's not here to develop players, that he's here to win. And I have Fernando Mendoza sitting on the bench, rotting away behind Geno Smith, throwing 55 pick sixes in a year and leading the league in interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have to say, like I said, quarterback writing is on the wall for quarterback at number 1.
Yeah.
At least that's what it looks like. And again, if Spytek's in love with Mendoza and his scouts are in love with Mendoza, then I think that kind of influences your head coach. I think you're probably leaning to let's try to see if we can find an offensive-minded head coach. Let's see if we could bring in a Clint Kubiak. Let's see if we could bring in a Joe Brady, or a Matt or is it Mike LaFleur.
Mike LaFleur. And I was going to say that Mike LaFleur is interesting, not on this list.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know what the reason is for that. Now, is it because Jordan Schultz doesn't think he's going to be a candidate, or is something out there, or he has, as Mike LaFleur mentioned, he is not aspiring to go out and be a head coach. That's an important thing. So good to keep an eye on that, because for me, that's my top guy. And if he doesn't want to be a head coach, cool. Then it's going to be Kubiak for me, and then it's Brady after that, because right now what is starting to build up, it's Mike LaFleur, and like my 1B is like Clint. So it's either those guys. It's either I wanted Clint. I've been wanting Clint to the Raiders for a little while now. So maybe now it's a time to go ahead and bring him in as in the head coach capacity. I wanted to bring him in as a coordinator, offensive coordinator first, when we were talking with Kingsbury and everything, and that just didn't happen, right? So maybe this time around it just actually happens, and he's actually the new head coach going into this 2026 season. So that name, Jesse Mintner, I find interesting. I got to do a little bit more research on that guy, but for me, it'll be an offensive-minded coach that hopefully we bring in, because I think that's where the biggest area of struggle has been for a very long time now. At least for sure.
Struggling to score 20 points in a game, that's
our defense. Our defenses have always been either like pretty decent or mid, but not to the point that we suck. I think probably this maybe was probably the worst year defensively, but we still held a lot of teams. Like, we held this offense in the game a lot of the time. That defense held the offense in the game a lot of the time. So, I don't know what direction, but that's going to be up to Spytek. I think it's going to be someone that has that vision of Mendoza, of a quarterback. So I don't know. I could be wrong.
I already got you, bro. I'm going to do my Walter Mercado, all right? Play the music for me.
I don't know.
I see a prediction coming. Oh shit! Spytek is gonna wake up one morning and he's gonna be like, "Clint Kubiak, you're the answer." Kubiak's gonna be like,
"Here, let me play the music for you." I think maybe this might be it. Hold on.
Okay, got it. The Raiders will have Clint Kubiak as their head coach and draft Fernando Mendoza with the first round draft pick. You heard it here first, baby.
Yeah.
There you go, bro. There you go. There you go. Bravo. But yeah, for me, hopefully we get a majority of these guys in for interviews. It only benefits us if we're getting people to come in and interview. Obviously, we also have to go ahead and tackle the Rudy rule, so that's going to also be a factor as well. So you have guys like Vance Joseph, Brian Flores are going to have to go ahead and come in and be a part of that. Not necessarily, but we're going to be aiming for those guys to come in and interview, right? I would want to see somebody more potential that you'll take more seriously. But I wouldn't be surprised to have those guys in there because you do have to go ahead and also address that role for sure and in the head coaching process. So the cool thing with going after the next head coach is that right now we can go ahead and start approaching guys, even if they're in the playoffs. They can go ahead and start conducting interviews remotely. They cannot go into another team's facility, but they can do it remotely. So there was a couple of interviews that were done last year that were done remotely. So and then one of them, that Ben Johnson interview, I think was done remotely. So expect to see some of those potentially happen. So I'll be excited in the next coming days and weeks on who's going to be coming in and who's going to be requested for an interview and who's going to actually do interviews. And that way we can go ahead and see kind of, what the future might possibly look like. But we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. But whatever way it happens, at least now we know that Pete is no longer here. There's going to be a new head pretty soon. And
Jay,
start focusing.
I'm going to tell you, bro. Jay, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm going to tell you. Spy check, you better call Delta Team. Whoever got freaking Maduro out of Venezuela, you better call them to get that motherfucker Kubiak out that house right now. You need to get Delta Team 6 to go over there to Seattle, knock down on the Kubiak house, bring him to Las Vegas. That's exactly what I want to hear. I want to see Maduro.
I will say this. Just like how we're watching Mendoza in the playoffs, definitely going to be watching Seattle's offense in the playoffs and how they operate. And that will sell me more on Kubiak if he has some good playoff, or at least calling some good playoff games.
Yeah. So, Nation, I think now it's time to go ahead and have a lot of eyes on different places. Mendoza, that we're gonna have a perfect ideal game to watch. You're gonna have to watch one college game this week, and it's gonna be that Indiana versus Oregon. If you're just focused on the pick, right? But if you're a football fan and you like college football, you just like football period, you watch all the bowl games. But that's going to be the interesting one. That's going to be a good game and interesting to see how both of these quarterbacks perform. And let's say Oregon doesn't pull it off. How are they going to perform offensively, right? It's going to be a close game, or is Indiana going to go ahead and literally shut down Dante Moore? We saw a little bit of struggle the game prior versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech did pretty well. They got skunked, but they kind of shut down Dante Moore for like majority of the first half. Then he started kicking it on. Then he started finding his guys open. He started making plays, but it's just going to show how he deals with adversity How is he able to go ahead and rally and do those comebacks? It's kind of what you want to look for. Obviously, the accuracy, all that is important as well. But little things on kind of how he runs the offense and the leadership is also equally as important as well. How he does under pressure is also a big telltale sign, because what if we put a great team together the next 2 years, we go on a playoff run and he folds under pressure in a playoff situation, right? Come down to the last 2-3 minutes of the game, down by a touchdown. How is he going to be able to go ahead and answer that? Those are important questions. Those reactions are so important. So those are things that Spytech now has to do due diligence on how these guys react, right? Whoever's going to be the number one pick. If they're not sold on any of these guys, the number one pick, then trading down is going to be the next option. But him and the head coach and Brady, I don't think Mark is going to be involved in that process. I think they got to loop his ass out now. Yeah, no more, bro. We're going to take the phone away from you now.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question, because you guys watch a lot more college football than I do, right? Like, I just started watching a lot more here recently. I've watched a lot of NFL and stuff like that. But what's your guys' evaluation? If Moore was to come out or Mendoza, who would you guys take and why? If the quarterback was the position that the coach wanted. So what's
I like Moore. And the thing is, I really do like Moore, but here's my thing on Moore. He's developmental. Like, he does have some more development to go through. But I've already said I would have my quarterback sit in his first year. So I think that's what's best for Moore. No matter, even if it's not the Raiders, let's say it's a different team. I think it's best for Moore to sit and learn behind a bridge quarterback. But I would pick Mendoza because he's he's pro ready. He is more pro ready. And I know a lot of people say Moore's more skill set, more like he can run faster. He's more mobile. I don't need my quarterback to be more mobile when it comes to running for a 70-yard touchdown. What I like about Mendoza is he goes through his reads. He plays quarterback first. If the reads are not there, he's looking to escape the pocket and buy time. He's still looking downfield. Someone get open. Again, if they're not there, clock is in his head. He takes off and runs for positive yards. I say positive yards, you guys, because positive yards is better than taking a sack and it's better than negative yards. But they're Mendoza more. I like him, but yeah, if it comes down to those two, I'm going with Mendoza. He has the more poise, I would believe, than Moore. Not saying Moore can get there, but I just think Mendoza, you could plug him in day one if need be. With Moore, I don't think he's day one ready.
Yeah.
Who's your NFL comparable?
Like to either or to Mendoza?
Like, to Mendoza, either or, I guess you can say.
I have to watch more of Moore. I only got a glimpse of him in the playoffs, and then towards the end of the season of college. But I've been watching Mendoza since he's been at Cal. I like the Matt Ryan comparisons. Some people say Kirk Cousins. I don't see it. I see more of Matt Ryan, more of Matt Ryan during that MVP season, or a little bit more during his coming up in his rookie year, where he had more command at the line, more control of his offense, a leader at the line, and really just trusting his guys, being accurate with the football. But this is why I do say if you do bring in Mendoza, you need a number one guy, because him and Cooper, you can see when Mendoza has a connection with his guy. Just like how Ryan had with Julio Jones, they catch fire together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real quick, shout out to King Luke. He says Chamberlain has been impressive. I wanted to pull this comment up. Yes, he has, but this is the thing: we can't fall in love with the next hot thing. It's like that flashy thing. We tend to go ahead and fall in love with that. Yeah. The kid really has been at Ole Miss for a year. This is like his first year, and he needs a lot of work. The kid needs a lot of work. I would not spend definitely a first round pick, nor second, nor third. Yeah, I'm thinking like fifth. That's even if he declares what.
Oh no, I was going to say that he didn't even declare.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, with him, he's most likely going to transfer to LSU and be with Lane Kifflin. I don't even know what necessarily went down. I just know Lane Kiffin is not at Ole Miss anymore. He took a job at LSU, so they fucking poached him there, and so he's not at Ole Miss anymore. And that he brought in this kid. So most likely, what the rumors are saying that he's going to probably stay another year and go transfer to LSU and reconnect with Lane Kiffin over there and do the damn thing over there. So I don't know, but I don't think he's going to come out. But I know because he had that great game, and I'm pretty sure if he has another great game with versus Miami, the talks are going to be ramping up more. We gotta stay patient. It's the guys who've been consistent all year long, and guys like Moore, guys like Mendoza, Ty Simpson was in that conversation at one point. He fell off the last month and a half.
He's been having bad games.
Bad games, but I think the injury is also probably what is also culprit behind it, in my opinion. I think the injury was just kind of plaguing him, and I think that's on his throwing arm, right?
It was something with his throwing. Yeah, with his throwing.
Yeah, it got so bad that they had to take him out of that Indiana game, right?
Yeah,
and they had to sit him and put in the backup guy. So, even Ty was up there at one point. So, I wouldn't. I don't know. I've been seeing that kind of a lot about him. I know he didn't say that, but I know about the whole Chamberlain thing. Let's pump the brakes.
Yeah, he had a nice game, but. That's the only thing
I let you guys know about this kid. I know a little bit about this kid because I know his head coach at D2 Ferris State. He came from Ferris State. He's a D2 player. Okay. So this kid wasn't a highly recruited player. What I do like about him is that he's a hard worker, that he's actually elevated himself. He didn't go to no big SEC school. He went to D2 Ferris State. He excelled and won at D2 Ferris State. From there, he went to Old Miss, and now, of course, if he goes with Lane Kiffin, don't be surprised if this kid doesn't become something special, man. He's really good. I feel like he's something that is a developmental quarterback that you can see in the future. But as of right now, to say that he's going to be the number one draft pick and the savior of the Raiders or a guy that's going to come in and change the culture, absolutely not.
That's the thing. When I see him, I'm like, oh, down the line, he'll be put on boards as like a top 10 pick possibly.
His game is nice. He has the ability to extend the pocket. He has great things, but again, it's just like Jay said and you said. He has things that he has to develop. He still he's getting adjusted to SEC football. He's not ready to come and be the number one draft pick of an organization and put the team on his back and say, we're going to go and be competitive.
Yeah.
He's not ready for that.
Yeah.
100%. I also wanted to. This is interesting that was said. Rich Eisen. I love Rich Eisen. I'm a big Rich Eisen fan. That fucking idol there. But he came out and said that the Raiders should potentially go after Kirk Signetti. Again, we talked about this yesterday. At first, I don't know if just because of the whole correlation thing that he said that. I'm thinking that's the big reason behind it. It just wouldn't make sense in the NFL with a guy who's completely rookie, who hasn't done anything in the NFL level, to just come in, even if they win the Natty, even to come in and head coach an NFL team. It's a big, giant leap that a lot of people can't make the transition. Usually they start at a lower level and then they work their way up to try to go ahead and just kind of get the feel of the game, the pressure, the tension, all that comes with, just being a coach in the NFL, at whatever level. So, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that would be a great idea. And plus, he just signed like a massive deal with Indiana, I think for 7-10 years, something like that. He's going to be in Indiana for quite a long time. So, I just wanted to put that out there because I'm starting to hear that. That's starting to gain steam. And I'm no.
Bro, and I wouldn't want it. I would rather him be a consultant. Again, if Mendoza is that pick, I would rather be a consultant and be like, hey, come April, we're thinking about drafting this kid. who do you think would be a good head coach or offensive coordinator that can get the best out of this kid? Because when he came to Indiana, you knew what was best for him. You knew what coach was best for him at the offensive coordinator position. So, I will use him as a consultant. Who do you think will be good for Mendoza? But as a head coach, I don't know. I think there's some other names out there that you could address it in a better way.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put this comment up by Hobby. Joe Burrow from the number 1 pick. Sorry, brother. I do not agree with that. I think that would be a terrible move. You would put Joe Burrow in another similar predicament that he's trying to leave Cincinnati for. It would not be ideal. Even if you went out and build the line, there's too
It's
many.
just that contract. I don't like the contract.
The contract, I know. I wasn't even thinking I wasn't even gonna mention the contract, but that's another thing on top of that.
Yeah.
But infrastructure wise, we're just not ready for Joe Burrow. You know, even for Mendoza, we're not. Yeah, even for Mendoza, we're not quite ready. But at least the kid's a rookie, and you're gonna have him here for a long time. You know, and that's the thing. You're gonna build around the kid. It's harder to build around a guy like Joe Burrow. Go ahead.
Bro, on what planet is somebody just going to trade Joe Burrow for 1 draft pick? On what planet? I'm like, bro, if they were to say right now, just for the number 1 pick, bro, we got to look at that. Because if we're already preparing ourselves for Mendoza, because that's what we talked about, right? In the offseason, Spytech has to put some boot to ass outside, freaking knock down doors for offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me that Joe Burrow is not better than Mendoza right now? Bro, you take the shot, but here's the thing. The Bengals are not just going to want one number 1 pick.
Yep. They're going to want a haul. It's like almost trading like Mac. They're going to want a haul.
Bro, if you want 1 number 1 pick for Joe Burrow, let's fleece those motherfuckers right now.
Yeah.
No, call them and be like, hey, Joe Burrow, hey, come over here, big stunner. Tom Brady's going to show you how to suit the sagger. We're going to have Big Joe signs all over Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because are you kidding me? Joe Burrow with that type of swagger in Vegas? Joe cool like that? Bro. You thought Shedeur Sanders was going to come in here and blow the doors off the building. Joe Burrow, bro, gives us the ability to be competitive immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately.
I like Burrow. I would love Burrow.
Bro, for 1 pick, for 1 number 1 pick, you do it. But, bro, the Bengals are going to be like, And if that guy's drunk enough or on that many drugs,
I need your first for this year, next year, and the year after that, for real. And your second round for this year at least.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm like, but if they say what? You just give me that number 1 pick, bro. Hey, why are we not fleecing these guys right now? We need to take the belt out and start BTAing them right now.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I want to trade for Burrow, but I like Burrow, but not realistic, But
I agree.
Yeah, man. We'll see what pans out in the next coming days and weeks in regards to the next head coach, and the requests are gonna start flying in, and hopefully we get some interviews in the door. Some interviews get conducted because you can do it virtually now. Forget that. They don't have to come into the door. That's old school. But hopefully we get to go ahead and hopefully we'll know. But honestly, I have a feeling that we won't find out our next head coach until like February. I have a feeling that's probably going to be the case. It's going to be a while. This is going to be a long process, y'all. So, and then
that's all right.
Then come February, it's going to be like quick. All these hires are going to happen pretty quickly. So be prepared. It could either go really quick or it could go take a long time. And I feel it's going to take a long time. So I'm very interested to see what unfolds next on the next chapter for this team. But again, I appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with us on this Black Monday Raiders Unfiltered. Again, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button on this channel and on all the other channels. Again, my guy, Raider Primos to my left, and then my guy, Raider Will, Silver and Black Raider Podcast to my right. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. It really does help to go ahead and put the shows and put the channels out into the YouTube universe, and it helps us grow our channel. So appreciate you guys. Salute to everybody, but at least we've finally closed the chapter on this nightmare of a season with the firing of Pete Carroll, and the Suns are going to go right there with him. So no more Brandon, no more Nate. We can go ahead. See, they're probably going to be way more. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to get clipped, but we'll find out. But no, it wasn't outright said. I'm pretty sure it's going to be left up to the next head coach on what they want to go ahead and do with this coaching staff. So yeah, I don't see a lot of people sticking around for that one. So, but that is our time for today. Appreciate you guys again. Make sure you guys, if you guys haven't done so, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell, because when news drops, we do go on. And me and Will went on. I mean, Primos went on today. So make sure you guys don't be left on dark.
Yeah, I couldn't even get my coffee. I was like, damn it, I gotta go live.
I did too. I had to grab my coffee real quick. I'm like, I came in all late with the guys, so I'm like, let me grab my coffee real quick, dog. I'll jump on in a second. So make sure you guys hit the noti on all the channels. Stay up to date on everything Raiders related with us for sure. So we'll be back. We'll run another show again soon as well. So but other than that, thank you guys for pulling up and rocking with me, Primos. Well, thank you guys again. Another fun one, another unfiltered wild episode, as y'all already know. But other than that, thank you guys. I will see you guys next time. And always remember, just Raiders, baby. Bye, everybody. There you go.
Fight tech.
Will with the belt to ass. You already know.
Let's go.
Peace.
J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Stand up, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style. It's amazing, making hits like Max on the blitz. The silver and black on the attack. They on the map, if you a fan and you with that. J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, J Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like J Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders Unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post-game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders. Just Raiders, baby. J Raider, the creator with the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question. Just win, baby. Win, baby. Just win.